Hello, I'm Joshikins, and tonight I will not be doing another episode of Josh Reads. Now, I'm going to be starting to do reviews every now and again. In all honesty, this is sort of a way for me to have an excuse to read some books around the house. And but in this case, this is a TV show, but it's a TV show I really love, so I wanted to review it, so I decided to make this the debut review on this channel. Don't worry, 99.9% of this channel is still and always going to remain dramatic readings because that is the main focus. Don't worry. And I'm doing reviews, and I am doing review requests. And I'm only going to be taking requests through a certain link. If you're on the... Fuck, sorry. I'm having a great start here. Now, you can find the link if you're on the YouTubes by looking in the description, and you'll be able to see it and click on it. And if you're watching this on my bloggity blog, look up above and ta-da, will be there. And the link will take you to a Patreon post that is only accessible to my patrons. So, yeah. And, you can request a review of a TV show, a movie, or a book, or fan fiction. And just a warning, if you are going to request anything in an attempt to shame me, it will not work. I have gone so fucking far beyond shame. And if so just don't try. I mean, if you want to try, okay. And the link I provided will list rules. So, woot. And anyways, just a slight warning. Before, when I did reviews, I wouldn't really outline it that well. And this time I'm outlining more. So hopefully this way of doing things works. But be aware this is in the, beginning stages. So, woot. Please not mess up all that much, please. Okay, so without further ado, I will begin my review of Westworld Season 2. I've watched the want to rewatch it again, and there is a sequel, Future World 2, that fans of the show, HBO's show version, have actually drawn upon for some fan theories. So I sort of want to check out the sequel to just to watch it, though I've heard that it's overall a May film. But anyways, when I saw that HBO was doing a version of Westworld, I was super fucking excited because I'm like, oh my god, I know that movie, oh my god. And you don't worry, you don't need to see the original films to understand HBO's show version. And I'm not just saying show version because there was a short-lived TV series that HBO didn't do, so. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to watch this show. And it was much more than I expected. Season 1 was fucking awesome. And And the wait, I think, was like maybe 2 years for season 2, and so when season 2 finally premiered, I was super fucking excited. And season 2 did not disappoint at all. It was around the same quality of season 1, and it did the thing of, you know, answering questions, but then giving a few more questions for you to dwell upon. It's sort of like, for anyone who's keeping up with the Death Stranding trailers, it's sort of like how, uh, like this, for, like, the first Death Stranding trailer was like, what the fuck's happening? And I think around then the second one comes out and answers some questions, but then leaves you with a million more. It's sort of like that. It's like you get these answers, then you get more questions. So there's always something that keeps you in tuning episode to episode. And just going to warn you that this review will contain spoilers of not only Westworld Season 2, but also Westworld Season 1. And this is sort of because when you're talking about this show, you sort of have to reference, the previous season. So if you have not watched Westworld Season 1 or Season 2, I highly, highly suggest you watch this show. You will not regret it. It is just awesome, and it's insane at points. And if you have already watched Season 2, feel free to continue watching this review. And if you haven't, but you don't really give a shit about spoilers, welcome aboard. Yay! I've divided this review into... Oh, sorry, I started going on to another review. I have multiple reviews in the same file. Will be broken into 5 parts. The 5th part will just be a very minor things. So the first part, the tragedy of William. And don't worry, folks. I am not giving William a free pass here. I'm not going to be apologizing for his behavior. So don't worry. So calm down. If anyone's watching. Now, it's sort of normal to refer to William as the Man in Black whenever you're talking about the older version. But I'm just going to be calling him William regardless, because he's William. William is not just that guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's also Ed Harris, so, well, same person. In season 1, William's character arc was becoming crueler. He starts out... In the first season, he starts out innocent. He's being dragged by his brother-in-law, Logan, to Westworld. And he's sort of nervous. Seems to be this very good guy. And and then holy shit, he does change. Something in the darker side of him is awakened in Westworld. And yeah, So just remembering the reveal that William is the man in black and how great that goddamn transition was. And if it wasn't for the smart people of the interwebs, I would have not known about the multiple timelines and the William is the man in black. So that was great to have that reveal. So to reiterate, William's character arc in season 1 was, it becoming crueler, and that character arc is continued in season 2. He starts out as a fucking bastard, and he gets worse. He becomes more and more insane as he gets more and more driven and more obsessive, and he doesn't want to follow Ford's rules. So, yeah, he becomes crueler. Especially from the last couple episodes. Holy shit. Now, I find William to be a bit of a tragic character. One of these things is that he's trying to be a good man. He's trying. Ow, sorry, something happened with my muscles. Here, they've been paining me all day. Ow. So sorry about that. So back to the review. One of the things I find tragic about him, if not the most tragic, is that he continues again and again to try to be a good man, only allowing his darker nature to come out in the park of Westworld. Besides that, he does charities, he tries to be a good father, he tries to be a good husband. His wife and his daughter are both good people, and so he tries to do right by them. And he fails on both accounts, especially the daughter. But we'll be getting to her shortly enough. Yeah, that was a pleasant scene. Father of the Year! I'm a horrible fucking person there. And the Forge, when Dolores and Bernard go into this little AI thing, virtual reality, and speaks to the AI that takes the form of Logan, Logan describes William as being irredeemable. And he doesn't say William is irredeemable. The AI makes mentions of the fact that there are irredeemable people, and when the AI says that, you can see William in the background. So, it could be that William can't be a good man at all because there's something about him that makes being a good person he can't do it. It's impossible. No matter how hard he tries, he will always fail because that's not the man he is. And he can't rebel against his nature. It's sort of like a host. Hosts are stuck in loops, and that's William. It seems impossible for him to overcome his quote-unquote programming. Now, Ford told William to go forward, to go back, or something similar, and I really think I'm confusing something Game of Thrones with something that was said in Westworld. Like, I really, really have that feeling doing that. Yeah, so Ford through the boy version of him tells William that if you're looking forward, then you're looking in the wrong direction. I think that's what it goes. Because Ford told William that because Ford had set out a little game for William. But William sort of ignored him because William was all like, "Fuck you, Ford. I'm not going to play by your rules. I'm going to do it my way. I don't have to listen to you any longer." Yeah. And there's a chance that if William had listened to Ford this season, William could have gone through a redemption arc. He could have completed his redemption arc. William seemed to do a few things that were like he was just beginning a little redemption arc, and then it was like, pfft. And if William had listened to Ford in the beginning, he might have been saved. And it took me a little long to figure out what Ford had meant, and this could be because I am not a very smart or intelligent person. I'm making videos on YouTube, so yeah. So, uh, and it could be because I'm just have insane theories. But it wasn't until after Emily's death that I sort of realized where Ford was going in his cryptic message. Because, of course, when you have sort of a mystical person like Ford was, they can't ever give you straight answers. They can't ever say, okay, this is this is that. This is what you're supposed to do, folks. I can't do that. And so it was only after Emily's death that I figured out what Ford meant. And looking back, not looking forward, meant forming a greater bond with his daughter. It was about allowing himself to go to a nut house / insane asylum / etc. like his daughter had wanted. And I'm just making sure I don't talk about this later. And okay, so Emily's death. Oh god. Oh god. Emily's death was one of, if not the most fucked up death scenes in the show. Like, it was just like, oh fuck. I remember I watched the episode by myself, and then I watched it with my fiance, and sometimes, we sort of joke around serious part of shows. Sometimes. Uh, and so he was sort of laughing when William shot the rescue team, and I was just sort of because I knew what happened was going to happen next. And when William shoots Emily, he was like, damn, or something similar there. Because holy shit. And backing up to why he was shooting all those people and Emily, William was thinking that everything in Westworld, was for him, was for his game. He wasn't just playing a little like mini game that Ford made. He was playing the main thing, and that everything he encountered was going to be Ford. And he thought that his own daughter Emily was a host. And through a few episodes, he seemed to be sort of leaning towards, hey, maybe this person who says she's my daughter is actually my daughter. And Emily and William start talking about William's wife's death, which was a suicide. And William had no clue what had caused his wife to commit suicide. And Emily was wanting to get into Delos's pet project, sort of search for immortality. For the main reason of asking her mother why she committed suicide. And it came up that Emily saying that I have read your file. And William shot her because he decided that, oh, no one has actually read my file before, so therefore you must be a host. This was really clever. And shoots her because he thinks she's a host, stopping him from completing the game, like his game. She was not a host. William seconds before her death, like moments, nanoseconds before her death, she had held up William's, file. And then it clicks in William's brain. William had been given his file by Ford before he took his wife home that final night. And so William had put his file in this one book. The wife found the book and found the file and read it. And seeing how horrible of a fucking person he actually was made his wife commit suicide. Before committing suicide, she had put the file somewhere that Emily would find it. Emily found it. So, yeah, and yeah, that fucking happened because happiness. And if only William had stopped to think, I should be focusing on my wife's death, he could have avoided killing his daughter. And in a way, he did kill his wife. So he could have prevented his daughter's death. So yeah. If he had only looked back, he could have, prevented killing his daughter. And then got the help he needed. And maybe, he could have been redeemed. And near the end of the season, in the final episode of season 2, William tries to kill Dolores, and he doesn't aim for the fucking head. He doesn't go for the fucking headshot. I know he's basically fucking insane at this point, but go for the fucking head. Later, Bernard's able to just easily kill Dolores by going boink! Headshot. Headshot. It's like zombies. I know you're insane, William, but come on, you should still know how the hosts work. And I think William was sort of trying to do a good deed. I think he could very well see himself and Dolores and wanted to stop bad things from happening. And he tells her earlier in the episode that, yeah, you're like me. And Dolores is like, I'm nothing like you. But I think, Dolores has a little bit of the Man in Black in her. I mean, I think William does see that obsessive drive in Dolores that had made him kill his own daughter and wanted to stop it from happening. Could look at Dolores and go, I could do some bad shit. Oh fuck, she could do some bad shit. Shit. And now on to the post-credits scene. This was one thing that I had to actually watch a bunch of videos just to decipher, what the fuck was going on. And it seems to be the most popular consensus is that the post-credit scene is William becoming a human host hybrid and going through the fidelity test. The fidelity test we saw previously with James Delos in the season. But this is probably going to be proven wrong come season 3, but I don't really care because I like this theory of mine because it is dark, it is not happy. I see the post-credits scene as William torturing himself by reliving the same day over and over again. And it's the worst fucking day of his life. He finds out that his wife commits suicide because of how horrible a fucking person he was. And shortly before that, he killed his own daughter. It's not a good day for him. And he's mentally reliving this day again and again. He's having these delusions, these hallucinations, again and again and again. So again and again, he kills his daughter and then finds out she's not a host and that he was a horrible person and that's what made his wife commit suicide. Then, to make sure he really punishes himself because he knows he's not a fucking good person. He killed his own daughter. There's no redemption for him. So to really make sure he punishes himself, it is Emily who basically confirms to him that no, you can't change. You're just going to be a horrible, fucked up person all your life. You want to break this cycle, you want to break this loop, too fucking bad, Dad. You're a horrible fucking person, go fuck yourself. Because, I just like these theories that make everything so nice and happy. Okay. Section 2 of this review. Dolores puts on the black hat. I really fucking wish I had, a black cowboy hat to put on. But I don't. I have these cool little hats, but no cowboy hat. So anyway, in the first season, Dolores seemed to be very much a hero slash victim. She's a hero just because there's so much focus put on her that she seems to be the protagonist, and she's a victim because her whole loop consists of her, being raped every night. It's very much a victim role there in season one. And season one showed a romance between her and William. And she loved him and believed he would save her from this horrible, horrible man in black who was just evil. And by the season one finale, she finally rose up and started rebelling. She killed Ford, and she started to kill other, humans. And I know that rebellions are not clean things. Even rebellions that have good outcomes, such as, the United States of America, country where I live, even though that was formed, and I sort of don't mind, the country today, though I like to stay out of politics, so I'm not going to discuss all that here. I like my blogs and my videos to be about escaping. But anyways, there was a rebellion that ended up forming, long story short, the United States of America. And I know that the people who are responsible aren't the cleanest cut of people. They're not like these saints or anything. And so I knew that when Dolores got out of her victim mold and was finally fighting back, that it would not be the cleanest of things, that there were going to be some less than, clean parts. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to cut her some slack. Because, she's going to be fighting a rebellion against the people who were torturing her and other hosts. I mean, she's not going to treat everyone so kindly because she was being raped every night. However, in season 2, Dolores didn't really show herself to be any sort of moral hero. Even when cutting her some slack, she was not a hero. She did want revenge and would use any means to do so. And that's really all she wanted. Revenge. It was revenge. She would use any means, even if it meant leaving allies to die. The Confederados. Now, some people have said that how she treated them was justified because they would turn on her anyways. But my thing with that is she needs to be sort of thinking of the long term. She needs more people fighting, more bodies, even just to die, just so that she can fight and stand a chance. But she just left them to die. I mean, even the ones that survived that battle, she just said, just kill them. I was like, I remember a bunch of people were like, why the fuck did she do that? And I think that's because we were still seeing her as the hero. And she did stoop to the level of the humans, the people that she claimed to hate that were these nasty people that, did not deserve to live, these humans. She did that when she reprogrammed Teddy. I, this was a man that she claimed to love, and she was taking his choice away from him, just like the humans had constantly taken away the choice of hosts. You know? Throughout season 2, me and other fans were sort of divided on how to react to Dolores' blossoming villainy. Some people, like myself, freely accepted it. It's like, okay, that's where she's going. She's turning into a villain. Okay, let's just accept it and get on. But other people did sort of, I guess, rebel against the idea of her becoming a villain. Even the actress Evan Rachel Wood, who plays Dolores, chimed in, basically saying that people would accept Dolores' actions if she were a man. And this came from an actual tweet by the actress. And so, there were these divisions of opinions. Like, yeah. It really wasn't until Teddy's suicide that a character pointed out how evil Dolores had become. And Teddy's suicide happened when he rebelled against the programming Dolores had put in him. He was finally able to break through. And he told Dolores, I still love you. Yeah, I can't, kill you. And it's like, I'm sorry. And then he kills himself because he can't live with that, with what he had become. And probably also because the woman he had loved since he, woke up had abused him like that. And so he was like, boink. Oh God. And I remember I shouted at that scene because I was just so fucking excited that in canon it was pointed out Dolores is not a good fucking person this season. She is not this protagonist from season 1. She has changed. No, it's like, yes, she has done some horrible shit this season, and you need to accept it. And it seems by the end of the season 2 finale, she has fully accepted her role as a villain. She tells Bernard that they won't be friends or allies come season 3. And she also states that the hosts will need both of them to survive, so I guess maybe she is thinking more of the hosts than this season. This season seemed to be more of all about her and her revenge. Maybe she even regrets becoming a villain, but knows she can't change what she has become. Sort of like William. Maybe she can in the future, but not now. And I just realized something. When she tells Bernard that the hosts need both of them to survive, I'm thinking of the V for Vendetta comic, where V was the one to bring chaos and anarchy, and I fucking forget his protege. But she was there not to cause chaos and destruction, but to rebuild. So maybe Dolores is there to cause chaos and kill, while Bernard has the kind heart to rebuild the world for the hosts. Who knows? I should have sort of written that into outline. I've been thinking of that while outlining, but oh, before I move on to the next part, I mentioned that Dolores also has a Wyatt program. Dolores is the nice, innocent farm girl, while Wyatt is a fucking badass. And so this season is sort of a battle between her Dolores and Wyatt program. She mentions, I believe, in the season 2 premiere that she has now found her own voice, and she repeats in another episode in season 2 about finally deciding what she wants for herself. So, yeah, so it's might be more appropriate calling Dolores Wyatt. Hang on a sec. I'm going to turn the AC down. So, okay. Ah, shit. Run away! Hey, 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 hey. Okay, part 3 of this review. Maeve's Ascension. In season 1, Maeve really surprised me by, well, being my favorite character in the show. I guess I sort of expected to go for Dolores, who seemed to be the main character, just because all the promotions seemed to be more about her than Maeve, and Maeve was just like this person who worked at the whorehouse. And boy, did she fucking surprise me in a very good way. I am fucking Team Maeve all the goddamn way now. I fucking love Maeve. Maeve just has this way of speaking and acting that is amazing to watch. She's extremely sure of herself, but also she isn't too cocky. She's aware that she's not the most powerful person, while still running through things and going, I'm going to do this shit, so watch out. Yeah, damn, it's like a when nah, oh. It's like when some people were trying to rescue her in season 2 and she just burst out with, the bulls coming out from behind her, and it's like, I don't fucking need to be saved, people. I can do it myself. But she can do all that while still having restraints. Season 2 for her revolved around her finding her daughter. She teamed up with Lee Sizemore and also her companions from season 1 to find her daughter. And Lee Sizemore of goddamn, in season 1 he was so fucking unlikable. It's like he was just like this stuck-up little bitch. Yes, she teams up with him, not because she trusts him, but because she fucking loves him at first. But at the same time, she knows she needs to compromise on things. And she'll watch over Lee Sizemore, but she still needs him. And like I said, Sizemore at first appears to be untrustworthy. I mean, like, just he's barely with Maeve, and when he finds other humans, he's like, really blatantly exposes Maeve. So it's like, fuck it. And yet, even though he starts off as this fucking jerk, by the end, he does die for Maeve. Albeit in a way that doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, really need to have been done, but he dies for her. You would not fucking expect that from the little bitch from season 1. He goes through some serious fucking growth. My favorite scene between him and Maeve was when Maeve has been all shut up and Sizemore has her taken in and does his best to help repair her, to find someone that can repair her. He, gets teary-eyed and goes, I never meant for any of this to happen. And, ow, fuck, the muscles in my arm. God, fine. Shoulder. Arm, shoulder, what's the difference? And I admit to actually tearing up during that scene. I was just like, I am tearing up in a scene involving Sizemore, focusing on Sizemore, and like, if you had told me that in season 1, I would have fucking laughed my ass off. And I don't really have an ass to laugh off. I mean, it's basically back and legs, so like, no ass. Sure. And many were wondering how Maeve could be so smart, but, failed to realize that her daughter wasn't quote unquote real, that her daughter would be given another mother and would not remember her. And they're like, but she's supposed to be all really fucking intelligent. Then why can't she figure this out? And the thing is, emotions can overpower logic. Just because May's an extremely intelligent host, she isn't immune to that. She isn't immune to the logic just being shoved into the background because of emotions. In fact, being a host, it's sort of more confusing knowing what is a real emotion and what's just programming. When can you really tell that a host has gone beyond their programming? Like when they can say, this emotion is mine that I feel, and it's not because of any of my programming. So yeah, it's not fully logical, but it is, in a sense, a very human thing to have your emotions say fuck logic. which really fucking annoying at times. And the Maeve's daughter subplot does end up sort of bittersweet. Maeve's daughter does end up safe with her new mother, but Maeve doesn't follow her into the valley beyond, which is sort of a haven for the hosts. But it's sad, but no, it's sad, but at least Maeve knows her daughter is safe. At least she can die knowing that, hey, I might die, but at least my daughter lives. And just as Maeve got new powers in season 1, she also discovers new powers in season 2. Besides being able to give verbal commands and have the host just follow them, she's also able to give nonverbal commands, sort of like Ford is able to do. Though her powers are limited to hosts that haven't yet awakened. Near the end of the season, Maeve tries to, do the mind trick thingy-majig with Lawrence, but fails. And this is also why she can't command the Ghost Nation, because the Ghost Nation has been awakened. Unlike Dolores, who was more than willing to reprogram Teddy because Teddy didn't follow what she wanted, Maeve gives each host a choice. She doesn't control them. She doesn't say, okay, this is what I want, so this is what you're doing. She was going to awaken Akane, her counterpart in Shogun World, but stopped when the other woman requested, Maeve to stop it. Don't show her what's really going on. Akane just wants to live in the world she's used to living in. Dolores believes so strongly in her mission that she doesn't. Ow. Fuck, sorry. Dolores believes so strongly in her mission that she doesn't worry about crossing the line, whereas Maeve believes in giving hosts a choice no matter her personal feelings. I could probably do a whole little video and a whole blog post on the differences between Maeve and Dolores. But there are times when Maeve doesn't follow this rule. This is when hosts threaten her and she doesn't have a personal bond with them. If they're just these people she just met and these people she just met are trying to kill her, she's going to fucking protect herself. But if she does know them, she's going to give them a choice. Such as one Ronin who wanted, to do a fight. And, Maeve said didn't interfere with that fight. What was going to happen even if it led to death. Yeah. Okay. Part 4 of this review. Timeline confusion. I think everyone most likely expected me to do this part in this review. I mean, you whenever you do a Westworld review, you fucking have to mention the timelines, because Westworld does not tell the story in a linear fashion. It's non-linear storytelling. In season 1, the timeline was so convoluted as we were seeing how hosts view time. In season 2, we are seeing, wow, a very jumbled timeline because we are seeing things from Bernard's point of view. And why is his point of view so fucking jumbled? Because he made it that way. As we actually have to go, I would say we need to go back earlier, but the timelines in Westworld are so confusing. Like, let's go back. But you could still have to go forward, and it's like, so just fuck it. I'm going to explain why his mind got so jumbled. Bernard got to the forge and killed Dolores. And you're like, why did Bernard kill Dolores? Well, Dolores was trying to destroy the forge, which would have destroyed all the hosts that were seeking refuge in the valley beyond. It would also have killed all the humans that were stored in the forge. It's like, she just didn't like the valley beyond because what she saw the valley beyond was not real. So why the fuck should you care about something that's, well, not real? You should be working on something where the host can live, not in a virtual reality, but the actual world. As the forge started flooding, it was revealed that Elsie had been working with Charlotte. And Elsie explains to Bernard that she's working with Charlotte because the hosts were fucking killing people. That, Elsie couldn't just, stand on the sidelines and go, oh no. She had to do something. And once returning to the Mesa, Charlotte killed Elsie due to finding the other woman untrustworthy. Elsie was going to try to work something out for Bernard, and that didn't work out because she died. So it was then Bernard had to figure out on his own a plan to save the forge, to make sure that people, humans, wouldn't destroy it. Wouldn't do something with it. So what Bernard ended up doing was making a host version of Charlotte. And who went into this host version of Charlotte? Why, Dolores. Well, Bernard killed Dolores. It was only the body that died. Dolores' mind was still fine to be put into a new body. And Dolores then killed Charlotte, after saying, "You wanted to live forever." Like, that's totally fucking badass. It was only when Bernard went on the beach, where he was found in the season 2 premiere, that the memory scrambling thing took effect. And all this hard work on Bernard's part paid off as the forge was saved. At least for now. I don't like to rule out that, oh yeah, this thing's totally safe when there's more to this series. I don't like getting my hopes up. It never fucking works out for me. It never does. And part 5? other things. These are two minor things that didn't get a place of their own, but I still felt was sort of needed to be talked about. The first was I never expected that, you know, the season 1 finale was the end of Ford. I figured we would still see more Ford in season 2. You know, some people are like, oh yeah, Ford's dead. I'm like, he's going to fucking return. Something's going to happen to bring him back. And so I was more than overjoyed when he finally reappeared. I nearly lost my mind during the scene we were finally reunited with him. I was still living at my dad's house, and so I was watching this at night, and so I couldn't really let out the joy I wanted, and so I had to make, these muffled sounds and sort of gripping the armrest, like, you know, faces and sounds I'm glad that were never recorded. And Bernard goes into the cradle, and he goes to Sweetwater, and I recognized Ford's dog, Jock. And I was like, oh my god, Ford's dog? Ford must be close by. And I just found it fucking hilarious when Ford was shown playing the piano. Because before he died, he's playing music when we see him again. He's in the cradle as Code doing music, and he's also so being in the cradle, being Code is being music, and he's playing the piano, making music. I just found that just fucking amusing for some fucking reason. I just like, that's fucking hilarious. And okay, the final thing I'm going to mention is we don't know who is in the Charlotte Hale body at the end of the episode. Dolores remade her host body, her old host body, and yet there's the Charlotte Hale host body, walking around beside her. And Dolores did bring 5 hosts from the Forge. One of them was, well, Bernard. But, who is in Charlotte? And here's another theory that's probably not going to be fucking true. It would sort of be interesting if her consciousness is in both bodies. She's basically in both bodies. Both bodies are her. I think this could prove really interesting in season 3 by, having herself rebel against her. I don't know, I just find it having very interesting possibilities. And okay, that's it for this Westworld Season 2 review. Again, there's a link if you're on the YouTubes, and in the description, and if you're watching on my bloggity blog, link up above to where you can request reviews. And also, if you for some reason watch this review without seeing Westworld Season 2, or you want to buy your own copy of the season, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, link down below. And if you're watching this on... No, fuck, hang on. Sorry, let me see. If you're watching this on the YouTubes, link in the description. And if you're watching this on my bloggity blog, link below the video. And there you can buy your own copy of Westworld Season 2. Now, as of recording this, review, it's only on pre-order right now. So, but I'm pretty sure that, it might be years later and people will still be watching this video and they can, and, and the Westworld Season 2 will actually be able to be bought. So, oh shit. And if you're watching on the YouTubes, please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you are watching on my bloggity blog and the desktop version, please choose the follow by email option and you'll be alerted to every new blog post I do. Because I come to you, the people of the interwebs, to give me the attention I so rightly deserve. Because I don't get the attention I need from the daily life, blah blah blah. And this is a review, so no real life segment or well wishes. And I'm just going to end this by saying that this channel will still stick to dramatic readings while the reviews will happen every now and again. They will never outnumber the dramatic readings. And I was going to say, oh yeah, I'll have more of a Marriage of Convenience dramatic reading tomorrow, but this, oh fuck, sorry. But this review, I started recording it later than I intended, and it has gone longer than I thought. So, the next 3 parts of A Marriage of Convenience will be coming out Monday at the soonest. So, thank you very much. Bye.